Hello everyone, thanks for stopping by. Happy Saturday. I've been spiraling again. I have, yeah, it's Saturday, and on Saturdays I do so much. And especially when it's nice out, the first thing I do is take my walk, and then I garden, and then, take care of stuff in the garden. And then I do my chores, and then here I am in my craft room. So, how are you all today? I hope you're doing well. As you can see, I have some new paper on my desk. And what I am planning on making, I have been working on my design team project, but Raindrop Lilac came out with another kit. And I can't resist her kits. And so I make these really cute little Altoid tin boxes, and I make little books to put in them. And I've made several different kinds. This is one. This doesn't really have a book in it, but it does have this, and I've showed it before. You just pull it out, and it's all holy cards, and it just pulls out like this. Whoops. See, I made this at Christmas time, and I'm pretty sure probably all of you have seen it. So this is from an Altoid can. Actually, this is from Sucrette's, if any of you remember that. But you can get these cans on Etsy. They're bigger. Not Etsy. Well, you might be able to. I don't know. But definitely Amazon. And they are bigger. And they are less work because you don't have to do a lot of work to them. But I'm going to use an Altoid can because I have so many of them. Because both John and I love Altoids. And I saved the tins. And he's been saving Sucrette cans forever, and so did his dad. So I have lots. So I thought, rather than making it and doing a flip through and having people say, how did you do that? I decided, you know what? I'm going to take you along with my process. So I'm going to move these out of the way. And before we get started, okay, let me just show you the process of the can. This is probably going to be a couple of videos. So if you'd like to follow along, that would be fabulous. I'd really appreciate that. And I appreciate you all, as you know. For any of you that are new here, thank you so much for visiting. And if you'd like to join our family, please subscribe and hit that bell so when I do upload a video, you'll get notified and you can visit and have some fun crafting along with me. That's pretty much what I do, is craft alongs. I do some flip throughs and showcasing of my journals occasionally, but primarily I'll do something that has inspired me to create something that perhaps, well, most of the time it's inspired by someone. There are things that I've come up with on my own that I'm sure has been done before, but just something that's, come to my mind, and I've done it. I've printed on doilies, I've printed on everything. Tissue paper, napkin, piano paper. So I have videos on that if you'd like to go back. I've printed on, I just did some aging tape by just simply putting double-sided tape on parchment paper that I've used for tea staining. So, and that's come out beautifully. I am loving that. It's just fabulous. And you could do it on any kind of paper, any kind of dyed paper that you use parchment paper for. I do have some pink and some, the blue parchment paper really didn't come out very well. It's very faded, but the pink is pretty dark, so I'll probably try that. So in any event, all you're going to need, and I thought that what I'd do today is show you the process of how I cover, or yeah, the process of what I do to get the can. So because, you know, it has the Altoids on the top and it's bumpy. And so what I do is I sand it down first with just a fingernail file, or you could use sandpaper. But for this, it's smaller, so I always keep one of these in here. And I just file it. And I filed all the edges because they were red. And then I cover it with gesso. Okay? And then I leave this silver. Now I might paint it gold, or I might leave it silver. I don't know. It depends on how it looks once it's completed. Okay? So then my next step, and I didn't have to do it with the sucrettes because it didn't have the Altoid on it. But for this, I'm definitely going to have to cover it. I've done these and made hand-stitched little books, you know, like Roxy Creations Journal of Stitchery. I've made little stitch books and put them in here. Unfortunately, I don't have any because I've gifted them. So anyway, yeah, you could do like a little stitched book, and they don't take long. You can do it as you're doing, you know, however, whenever you do your stitching. And then just make a little book and just place it inside. So the first thing you want to do is just take some gesso, white gesso, a paintbrush, and you just want to brush it on and cover that all up where you don't want to see anything. Like I said, this was red, and I don't want that red. And then I covered this so that I don't see that if I decide, you know, to cover it with paper or what have you. So then my next step, in order to cover this bumpy, if I just put paper on it, you're still going to feel that, and I don't want that. So what I do is I'll either take a piece of linen, which I'm not going to use today because this one is too dark, obviously. And this one is the last piece I have, and it's hemp, and it's from Rachel from Roxy Creations. And I use these for my fabric books. So, or my, you know, stitching. So I don't want to use that. I mean, I do have a couple more pieces, but I'm such a hoarder with her fabric because I can't get this here. So this would work perfectly, or a piece of canvas, or just, I think sheet might work, you know, fabric, like just a white sheet might work too. Or you could use a piece of cardstock. But I didn't print any cardstock, so what I've also used, because I've made fabric ones before, I have used a piece of felt. And then I take my fabric photo that I put on it, I stitch the fabric photo onto this, and then I glue it onto the top. But that's not what I'm going to do today. Today, because a lot of you don't stitch, so I'm going to simply take this little piece of felt that you get at the Dollar Tree. This is not wool felt. This is just plain felt you get at the Dollar Tree, okay? And, you know, you can pull it to make it a little bit thinner if you want to, but it's fine. You don't have to. But before I put that on, I don't want any edge here. So I'm going to collage that. And what I'm doing is, you can do several things. You can cover it with napkin, decoupage it with napkin. And I did pull out several different napkins that I thought would match. And these are the papers I'm using. They are from Raindrop Lila. And here's some of the pictures, and I'll show you the name of them in a second. But these are going to be the pages in the book. Some of them. They're gorgeous. And they're on sale. I'll show you. And I didn't even print all of them. I mean, I could have. These I printed down to, down because I wanted to fit on my cover. But that was too small, so I'll use those in my book. So I had to print them a little bit larger. This is the size that they print out. I just wanted to print that out for you. And then she also has washi, which I've printed that out half size because, it's a tiny book. It's going in here. Okay. So here's the name of the kit. It's called Felicity Wallpaper Collage Paper. I want to say you get 30 sheets, maybe more. I just couldn't even choose. It was very difficult, as you can see. And then this is called Mother and Daughter Framed Coin Envelopes. And that's these. Or, the larger one I showed you. Again, Raindrop Lilac. And this is the washi. And it comes blank or with sentiments and words. Okay? So I've just chosen a few of my papers that I'm going to use. And I've already cut out my picture that I'm going to use, which is this one. It was very hard to choose. Very, very hard to choose. So I'm going to choose this one. And I've already cut that out. So anyway, that's the papers I'm going to be using. So what I did was I took a piece of my, you can use tracing paper for sure, but I just took some of my vintage typing paper and I printed this. And that's what I'm going to use to collage it with, because I'm thinking, the only part you're going to see once I get it collaged is around here. I promise. That's all you're going to see. All right? So I could use a napkin, but I'm going to stick with this because it's going to be about the same, it's going to be the same once I tear up the napkin and take it apart and what have you. It's going to be the same. So that's what I'm using. You can use tracing paper. For the other one I showed you, I used newspaper print, and that collaged very well. That really did work very, very well. But I was going for a very old, like Roman look, like very French, very almost like, as you can see, I wanted that very old, I wanted this to look like something that you would have found if you were traveling somewhere. And this is actually a French medal that I got from France. And then this is just Sorry. And then I just put a song, some song lyrics in there. So, and then I glitter glass this. I think that's all I did. Oh, I know what I did. I wanted it to match. So, no, I didn't paint that. That was the Sucrete can. But as you can see, this one is silver. So I might leave that silver. Okay, so let's get started. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to collage this first because I need my edges collaged. So what I'm going to do is just take this and I'm going to place it here. And I'm just going to cut it and then I can file it off. Okay? So what I'm going to do is just take a piece of what I really love, which is very hard. Well, actually, it's going around the edges. So it really doesn't matter. Because you're not going to see this part. You're just going to see what's around the edges. So I think what I'll do is something like this so that you can see the edges of this. Does that make sense? See? So that's what I'll do. Let me just cut this so that I know that it will go over it and cover the edge. Might have to bring it a little bit this way. And I don't care that it doesn't match all the way around. You know what I mean? Like, it doesn't have to match all the way around. I'm just wanting it to match. So let me just cut this. And you want to collage before you put your felt on. So you're going to collage the whole thing. And like I said, you could use cardstock, but I didn't print any. And I was like, oh no. But I had already printed this for my book, for my little book that I'm going to be making. So I thought, oh, I'll just use this. So like I said, you could use tracing paper. Now I just want to make sure that when I fold this over, it's going to be a pattern all the way around. So just let me place this so that there's a pattern all around the edges. This isn't easy. Well, for me it's not easy because I'm trying to get a pattern so that there's a pattern all the way around. That looks good. So now what I'm going to do is just take some matte medium. I'm so sorry. Forgot it. Yeah. It's right here. I'm going to take some matte medium. And you could do this with napkin. Same thing. You're just going to collage it just like you would anything. And because I've already gethered it, it's going to stick fine. And it would stick fine as well as long as you sand it down. So I'm just going to put some matte medium around here. I hope that you are doing some crafting today. I am, let's see, I'm drying flowers. I've already got them all in the press. Some hydrangeas, more, because we're going to get thunderstorms this afternoon, and they were ready. I had a very big blossom, and underneath the blossom were tiny blossoms that were trying to peek through that weren't getting any sun, so I clipped it. Of course, John was just like, oh, yeah, why did you do that? It was so pretty. I said, but it's going to turn, you know how hydrangeas turn. So I'm just putting some matte medium on here. You can use Mod Podge. I don't because it doesn't dry. I don't know why, but it doesn't dry. So that's all I'm going to do for that. Yesterday I made some adorable paper clips and made another one this morning after I went for my walk and before I went outside. Now, how do I want this? I want this in the front. So I'm going to turn it around. And this can be on the sides and the back. And see, I'm just going to press this down, hoping and praying it works because I've never used this before, but I don't see why it wouldn't. Well, maybe I'll have to use some glue, I don't know. But I think it will work. I'm just pressing this down, making sure that it really sticks to that edge. And then I'll just file it off like you do if you collage anything. Now see, I can still feel that. Through the tracing paper, I mean, actually, this is onion skin. It's the lightest weight typing paper you can get. And I find mine on eBay. So it's hard to find under $150. But if you look and look and look some more, you'll be able to find it. I was very fortunate. This package came 60 sheets that was left in the package, and it was $11 with shipping. So I was very fortunate for this. The last package I bought had 100 sheets. It was more of a medium weight, and I love it. I actually like it better than the lightweight. So either the medium weight or the lightweight typing paper on eBay, vintage, just type it in and you'll find it. Don't buy it for $150. Just keep searching. You'll find some. or yard sales, thrift shops. I've never seen it in a thrift shop, and I don't remember ever seeing it at a yard sale either, but like I said, I do get it on eBay. I'm pretty sure they sell it on Etsy in like a sheet. You know, people will sell like 5 sheets, 10 sheets of it, but it's pretty pricey. And they will sell it as onion skin paper, but all it is lightweight typing paper. That is onion skin paper. It literally says that on the package, onion skin paper. So I don't care that that's not, you know, perfectly straight or even, because it's going to get covered. I just want my sides covered because it was red. So if it were silver, I probably wouldn't even do this step. But it looks pretty. So let me just make sure that this is down before I cut that and file it. Because that's the most important part that needs to be down. And don't worry if your sides aren't completely, you know, I mean, if they're a little wrinkled, that's even better. It looks better. In my opinion, it looks better. It looks more, I don't know, it just looks better. For me, you know. And I'm fussy, so. I wish I had one of my fabric books that I've embroidered. I don't follow all of the prompts. I just kind of do all my own thing, but I do follow it because I get a lot of ideas. And there's dozens. If you go on, if you type in hashtag Roxy's Journal of Stitchery, you will get so many ideas. I actually, let me see if it's right here. Oh, I am so sorry. That was an empty container I had emptied this morning. You can get one of these. Don't mind that. That doesn't belong there. I don't know why I even glued that there. I think it stuck there, and so I just left it. You can get one of these pocket guides, and this shows you just about every stitch you need to ever do any kind of stitch that you want to do for, you know, your back stitch, blanket stitch, chain stitch, couching stitch, cross stitch, feather stitch. I use this all the time. Filling stitches and running stitch and satin stitch and weaving stitch. So it's not all the stitches, but it's a great handy little book to keep with you next to your sofa or wherever you do your embroidery. Sometimes I do it at my desk. Depends on what I'm doing. But I usually will do it at night because my husband bought me a magnifying lamp, and I have it in here, but I'll roll it right out to the living room, and I use that because I have poor eyesight right now. So I've been using that, and that works really well. So this is all you do. Uh-oh, I didn't close my door, and my husband just walked in, and he does not know I'm videoing. John, I'm videoing. Could you close the door? I'm videoing. Could you close the door? Sure. Thank you. I'm sorry about that, folks. I went to the grocery and to, I don't remember, his Saturday errands. I'm sorry this is taking so long. I just want to make sure it's nice and dry, which it is. So now all I'm going to do is I'm going to close this up like this. And I'm just going to trim them around like this. Thank you, John. See, I'm not going right down. I just wanted to close it to see where I needed it to. And I'm going to go around this edge. I'm not going right to the edge because I'm going to file that. And depending on where we are, I'll show you the the cover. And then choose your pages, and I'll be back in a little while or tomorrow. With the next video, I'll show you how I've chosen my papers. And all I'm going to do is I'm going to cut my pages down to fit inside my box. And how I do that is I just measure this. And then because this has round corners, I'll probably round the corners on my pages. Okay? And you don't need many. So then what I'm going to do is, this is pretty dry. So I think I'll just kind of go around that edge just to make sure it's not going to lift up. Go around your edge real well, like so. These are so fun, guys. I really, really hope that you join me in the next video so that we can finish it together. Or, you know, you don't have to. I mean, I think you get the point, but I have lots more ideas for doing your pages, and, you know, finishing it up. And, you know, depending on the time, 26. Oh, well, at least get the cover down. So I'm just going to get my file, and I'm going to take my file. Sorry. Oh, I have something in my eye. Hold on one second. There. Okay. So now I'm going to take my file. Oh my gosh, I forgot my fountain was on. I hope that wasn't too loud. I'm going to file it this way towards this. Because if I file this way, you know, I don't want it to take it off that way. I want to keep it going this way. Because I can always slide a little bit of glue under there if I need to. And don't go back and forth because you don't want to take that paper off that you just put on. And I absolutely could put an image on this without putting this on, but my image is like this, and there's still a bump around here, so I don't want to do that. But I might just be able to use paper, so I might not have to use the felt. So I'll see how the paper is on top now that I've put this down. Between the gesso and this, then it might work. I might not have to put the piece of felt in. But in case, I have the felt cut, just so I wouldn't have to do that. So that's all I'm going to do. See? And just, I hope I'm in frame, and I hope I'm close enough so you can see what I'm doing. I'm also going to put an image here, something, paper, that, you know, just in here and just in here. I won't cover this inside. You can. I'm not going to. I just, you know, I just like it the way it is. And I want to cover that. Because it's a Altoid, and I don't want that. So it's basically the cover of your book. If you know what I'm saying, you know? And you do want to make sure that you have no glue or anything there because you want that to close okay and open okay. And that's all you're going to do. And now I have a nice even edge. And that's all glued down. And now let me just see about, yep, it covers nice. So let me just see if I can still feel that by putting some paper on top. So let me just get one of these images. There's so many to choose from. It's hard, guys. It really is very difficult. I might use that. I mean, just feel it. I can't really feel it at all. So I'm going to use that, okay? I'm just going to bring it down to about here. I should measure it, but I'm not going to. I better. I'm sorry. I wasn't planning on doing this. I was planning. Let me just see something. Hold on. Let me see if this feels better. No, there's no difference. So I'm just going to use, this is just 27-pound weight paper. So, and like I said, the only reason why I did this is because I wanted the edges to look like, you know, my covers. So here we go. Now how do I want to open this? I want to open it this way, so it has to go this way. No, I don't want to open it this way. I want to open it this way. So if you're going to use script or something, make sure that you're, you know, you're careful about your script. You know what I'm saying? So that it's going the right way when you open it. So I'm just going to kind of pinch around there. I'm not going to measure. Who needs to measure? Just make sure my script is going straight. It's not. Hold on. I'm just going to kind of do this. I did not do this before, obviously. I measured with a ruler. And I'll probably just make sure, because I have to use my paper cutter to get the round edge. So, my box top is 2 1/4. No, it's 2 and, hold on one second. I'm sorry. 2 and, this has to be right because I have to round my corners. So 2 and 1, 2, 3, 4/8. So I'm going to go over here. Well, first I'm going to straighten out my paper. So I want to do, oh, shouldn't have done that. So 2 4/8. 2 and 1, 2, 3, 4. Just gonna go a little bit more. By, of course, 3 1/2. Oh, yay. That worked. Okay, there we go. So I'm going to cut it just a little bit long, just because I'm, you know, rounding the corners. You might need to do that, and I don't know if this is perfectly straight because I'm not using my cutter. And as you all know, can't cut a straight line. I'm trying. Doesn't look straight at all, but it will work because I cut it a little bit big. Hooray! All right, now I really do need this to be even, people. So I'm going to take this out, and I have another piece here just in case I need it. Let me move this aside. I didn't bring in my little water, but I can put it in water later. I hope this is making sense. So I'm just going to cut this down a little bit so that it fits on top and it's nice and straight so I can round my corners. And I went a little bit beyond my little dot there because I needed it straight. So just let me see here. I'm just going to cut this off a little bit, then I'm going to round my corners, and I'm going to pray. I'm actually praying right this minute. Do you do that? It's like, oh Lord, please. I didn't even take that much off, but it looks even. And everything looks straight. And I need to take just a tad. I need to take a tad more off. Just barely. Make sure my writing's going the right way. Of course, I had to pick something with writing. And I think once I round the corners, that's going to be good. I'm going to take a tad bit off the bottom here. So you just have to play with it depending on the size of your can and if you want to put something on the top. Put that on my shelf. Move this out of the way so you're not confused. Back to our can. My corner rounder, I just have to make sure I empty it because it won't cut if I don't. Or it will, but it will be wonky. Okay, here goes. You could also double up the paper if you could still feel it underneath, you know. Ta-da! And it fits. She's good. She is good. She's a little bit, teensy-tiny little bit big, but that's okay. I am just going to she's a teeny tiny bit too big, folks. Sorry about that. But it's not going to be a problem because it's just a skiff. And I want this to be nice because I'm going to gift it. And even if I wasn't going to gift it, I still want it to be nice, you know. And I won't do the bottom because it will take too much time, but you do the same thing. You're going to measure this and put whatever you want on the bottom, which likely I'll do the same thing, but I'm not going to cover the edges because I don't have to. It's silver. And like I said, I'm going to leave it silver. So now it fits perfectly, and all I'm going to do now is take I'm going to use Fabri-Tac. I think you probably could use our glitter glue, but I'm just using Fabri-Tac. That's what I've used on them all. Well, I've always put fabric on the top. Oh dear. So just make sure you get very close to your edges because you don't want that to lift. And if you do, you could stick your art glitter glue under there. And I'm just going to do this so that it will stay. Where is my little silicone brush? Hello. So just brush this on the top. And you know, thank you so much, Christina. I have done this forever. Yesterday's video, she said, just use a silicone brush. I'm like, duh. I don't know what's wrong with me lately. So, yeah, just do that so you don't get it on your fingers or what have you. And that wipes right off with the, is that going the right way? Yeah. Yeah, I would use the Fabri-Tac because then you have some time to kind of slide that exactly where you want it. And then I am simply just going to press it in case I didn't get it, you know, right to my edges. I'm just going to press that down and make sure it's nice and stuck. I might have to put a little bit under this corner, which I did. That is it, folks. And I don't feel anything. So you can use paper on the top. But it's up to you what you want to do to the sides. You could paint that, for sure. I just saw a little bit still sticking up, but it's really nice and dry now. So I can really go around that and take it off. I didn't want to do it like that when it was wet, but it's very dry now, so you can do that. Okay, once it's very dry, just, you know, go around, and I'd still probably do it this way. There we go. So what do you think so far? Oops, that's still lifting. Hold on. Take care of that right now. And like I said, you could use acrylic glue for sure. I just, you know, I want to have time to be able to move it if I have to. Up or down or sideways or what have you. Then you could always go around your edges if they're lifting. But that's the only edge that I didn't get. It's on there. I feel nothing. It's beautiful. And I love it. And I can't believe I did this on video. I am so sorry. Because I am the most indecisive person in the world. And I grabbed a piece of paper and just did it. Okay, all right, how far are we? 42? Okay, let me just show you now what I'm going to do with my image. It's very simple. Watch. Ta-da! There's my image. I am going to just put that on. I don't want any more on there because I don't want to take away from my image. Okay, so I just want to make sure that's straight. I'm going to use, again, my art glitter glue because I'll be able to slide it if it's not. And I'm just going to go around the edges so that I can move it. Sorry, concentrating. She's in the middle. And she looks beautiful. Now, that's it for that part. Now I'm going to be doing more tomorrow, or the next video, which might go up today, because I'm going to keep working on it. And I'll show you the next few steps. So as I work on it, I'll video it. Okay? So again, flying by the seat of my pants. Not really. I've made these, like I said before, so I'm not really. If you get any glue here, wait for it to dry. Take your white eraser from your pencil, excuse my reach, or a white eraser like this. When it's perfectly dry, like wait an hour, and then just take your white eraser, because I did get some glue there. Take your white eraser, it'll erase right off. Okay? And that's the only place the glue squished out. So, what do you think so far? So far, so good? Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn off the camera and then I'll turn it back on and we'll do the next steps. Okay? Okay. So, until I see you again, be well, be safe, and God bless. Oh, I wanted to show you something real quick. Well, I can show you in the next video if I don't see it. Oh, I see it. I made another paper clip this morning. You can go back a video to see how these are made, but here she is. I put a few little rhinestones here, some velvet here. I did it a little differently. I put some little polka dot tulle here, and then I put some cheesecloth here, and then I put some different paper underneath here, and then book page underneath there, and she is paper clipped right there. And this is just embossed scrap. So yeah. And I also purchased G. Kerr's kit. It's called, I think it's called Scrappy Collage Paper or Scrappy Paper. So you might want to visit her site and get that paper. It's awesome. And like I said, they're so easy to make. Oh my goodness, they're so easy to make. I made this in like 20 minutes. Just with stuff I had on my desk. I did not go anywhere. Of course, I had the velvet and the ribbon still out in my little box on my desk. So, and I just took, see, I keep this on my desk. It's just broken jewelry. And I just took some of those little rhinestones and clipped them and put them right here. Are they adorable? Oh my goodness. So that's it. So, until the next video, have a wonderful afternoon, and I will see you soon. Take care, everybody. Be well, be safe, and God bless. And remember, be kind to somebody today. You never know what they're going through. Bye-bye. See you later.